it's a lot of it is being able to change the channel of your mind as an act of will. And people generally don't practice that or know that it's possible. They feel that, if some emotion comes up, that's it. They're doomed to live with that emotion. They can't do anything to change it. They don't have the willpower to change their emotion as an act of will. But they could. We all have that capability, mostly undiscovered within us, to be able to make our minds go blank and get off the subject. It does help to physically move from one place to another. It helps the mind to be able to say, okay, clean break, end of that chapter, new chapter.
Yeah. I sometimes will say, like, I believe that sometimes it serves us in some way to stay stuck in a certain emotion, because actually it's a form of procrastination or a form of not wanting to do the thing. So it may feel easier to remain stuck than it is to solve the problem. And I think sometimes we can block ourselves in that, because if I'm in a place of stuckness or I don't know, then I don't have to take action, or I don't need to look there. And I think sometimes you talk of changing the channel, we do have that ability to do that. Some of us realize it, some of us don't. but even if we do realize it, sometimes I don't think we change the channel because it's serving us in some way to stay on the same loop of stuckness and fear, because we don't want to, we're scared of what may happen when we do change the channel.
I noticed that some people are afraid of changing because they're afraid of greatness. They're afraid of their own greatness because it's so unknown, and they're afraid of the unknown. It's much more comfortable to stay, permanently depressed for the rest of your life than to overthrow that. Another thing that happens, I think, with people when they're like permanently stuck is they ignore their own great ideas. That ideas pop into their head, and they realize in that one instant, that's really a good idea. And then that's it. They forget it. Don't do anything about it. Don't even write it down. If they would just write down their own good ideas and keep it in a place where they know they can find it again and go back and look, they might gain the will to take action and take the risk of greatness.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's something that comes up in coaching sessions all the time, is we're afraid of our own potential. It's not that we're afraid of, it's nothing else, but we're afraid of actually what we could achieve when those barriers are no longer there, right? And it's interesting to see how that shows up in all of our lives. I know definitely I've had that too. It's fascinating to me that that's what we're afraid of.